Everyone's sounding a little sleepy this morning, including our Kira Clapper there. Good morning, everyone. 8:06 the time on this Sunday Fun Day morning. This is California's place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. We keep it healthy and sustainable as always as we broadcast live from our studios. And wouldn't you know it, I have the window open and the air blower guy right at the top of the show.
Leaf blower. Cue leaf blower.
Cue leaf blower. It's all about timing in life, isn't it? And speaking of timing, I don't know what has happened to my computer, but all the audio has slowed down like that. So
Yes.
during Patty's newscast, I'm going to reboot my computer and hope that that fixes everything. Fingers crossed, everyone. All right, straight ahead on this hour, we're learning about hemp as a nutritional source and possible weight loss ingredient. Also, spending 49 hours in San Francisco this holiday season. You know, I didn't think about it, but, it's the San Francisco 49ers, of course. And did you know the city is 7 miles by 7 miles? So if you multiply that, that's 49 square miles. So it's just weird that 49
It
seems
all
to...
comes back to 49.
It does. And so at any rate, we're going to find out some deals you can get in the holiday season and things to do in San Francisco throughout a 49-hour period.
Oh.
Then next hour, our Compass Hour has a lot to offer as well. Our word is shuttle. And if you are watching online, we have some incredible time-lapse video of Endeavor moving from LAX to the California Science Center. Also, a wine shuttle on the Central Coast. But right now, Patty Pyburn, let's see how your news update sounds. I guess it has the same punch as usual. A little slow, but
Yeah.
Patty, what do we have in the news this hour?
Well, Randall, here we go from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday morning. People from Santa Maria all the way through the Bay Area are reporting they felt a moderate earthquake last night. This is according to the USGS. It struck the Central Coast just before midnight to the east of the Salinas Valley. This is near King City along the San Andreas Fault. It measured 5.3, followed up by aftershocks as strong as 3.7. Those have been rattling the area throughout the morning. No reports of any major damage, though, we are happy to say at this point. We will keep you posted as we learn more. Cranberry juice has long been thought to help prevent bladder infections, but some new research shows that may just be a food myth. It was thought compounds in the juice, including sugars and flavonols, prevented infections by keeping bacteria from clinging to cells in the urinary tract. Scientists in Scotland analyzed 24 studies involving thousands of people and found the juice may only help a small percentage of women. More studies are planned to see if concentrated versions in pill form may provide help for a wider range. TripAdvisor is out with its annual list of the nation's favorite wine regions, and California once again dominates that list. While many people may think the Napa Valley is the crown jewel of winemaking, tourists actually prefer its neighbor Sonoma, which grabbed the number one spot on this year's ranking. Napa came in at number 2, followed up by Oregon's Willamette Valley. TripAdvisor develops this list with user-generated statistics from its popular online travel site. Other California wine tasting regions making the top 10 include Paso Robles at number 6 and Temecula Valley at number 7. This summer, Santa Cruz saw a tourism boom with the highest number of tourists since 2001. This is according to new numbers from the county's Conference and Visitors Council. Hotels were filled to 79% capacity during the summer months, an increase of 9% over last year. Santa Cruz County continues to show a competitive edge, beating out the national average by 19 points. California is slightly behind Santa Cruz numbers with 77.5% occupancy levels. A growing Halloween tradition is drawing large crowds to the small Central Coast town of Cambria this month. It's the annual Cambria Historical Society Scarecrow Festival. Sounds like lots of fun. Several dozen scarecrows are lining city streets and storefronts, including 19 figures that won the top awards for each category. The winners of the month-long exhibit were announced last Sunday during the Harvest Festival. And the residents there we spoke with say there seems to be a lot more involvement this year than in the past, and the festival just keeps getting bigger every year. Now, if you'd like to see a photo gallery of many of the town's best scarecrows, head over to our Facebook page. Just search Eat, Drink, Explore.
Yes.
Well, Randall, you want to update on our weather?
I do want an update on the weather, Patty.
Cooler temperatures this week throughout California. Probably people already feeling that. We are expecting mid-60s to low 70s. A chance for some rain again tomorrow. We're seeing that this morning already. A bit of overnight drizzle even Friday into Saturday.
Right.
And in Central and Southern California, that is where they are expecting to see some rain. Northern California may see rain for much of the week.
Wow.
Big change.
A big change.
We were sizzling and now
hot.
Yes.
I have to tell you, I was in Cambria yesterday.
Were you?
And took those pictures. If you go to our Facebook page, we really have a great photo album of all the different scarecrows. They're funny. Like, a lot of them are really they're incredibly well done.
Good humor.
And it literally stops traffic in the middle of town. Like Main Street for a while was bumper to bumper on this one spot where the Wizard of Oz.
Cute!
They have like a Wizard of Oz display, and there were so many people there. Plus, had a fantastic meal at Robin's restaurant, which
yum.
is a Cambria tradition, all fresh and local, you know, what we like here on the show. And our service was fantastic. Anthony, what was the name of the woman who Netherly. Netherly is the waitress there. Ask for her. She's fantastic. We give her a 10 bell ringer. There. Oh, yay.
Very nice.
All right, so the sound.
So does that mean you're back on track with the computer?
I think so. I don't know if that sounded like it was at its normal level or not. So
It's hard to tell with the bell.
was it? So yeah, I'm crossing my fingers that that the computer is working well there.
And I'm looking at those scarecrow pictures. You're right. They are really cute and creative.
Isn't it
Oh
great?
my gosh.
Yeah.
I do. I like it.
So it's facebook.com, of course, /eat drink explore. That's where you'll find those
That's
those
awesome.
photos.
I love it.
Yeah,
So cute.
Lots of good ones.
It's a good thing that, Cambria's at a slow pace. So if, people stop to...
it's not a big deal.
No.
Yeah. They want you to slow down in
Exactly.
Cambria.
Exactly.
Beautiful Central Coast down there for sure. So coming up, Patty, in our health segment here, in fact, we're going to blend it into the business segment as well. We are talking hemp. And, it's been outlawed in the United States for a really long time, and there's not a great argument for why that I know of, And so
after you mentioned it last week, I went to pick some up at Costco because I've seen it there,
Yeah.
and they were out. I'm not saying out forever, but out at that moment. There was none on the shelves.
Well, they sent us a package of some to sample, so we'll send you home with a little
Very
package
nice.
of the hemp hearts. If you're
Hemp hearts.
If you're watching online right now, there I'm showing you the little bag, and Patty, that is yours.
Thank you.
There you go.
Love it.
It is high in fat if you read the logo, but it's one of the label. It's one of those things where the fat is the
Like avocados. It's the good fat. If you're going to eat fat, it's the kind you want.
Right, exactly. So, all right, stick around, everyone, because we are talking hemp coming up here in the next hour of the program, or the next couple of segments. It is Sunday morning, and we hope your day is off to a fantastic start. I'm your host, Randall White, and you are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. We're back in just a moment.
The 2012 Big Sur Food and Wine Festival starts in less than 2 weeks, and what a festival it will be. 4 fabulous days of amazing culinary and wine delights in typical Big Sur style, featuring more than 70 wineries and 30 chefs all weekend long. On opening night, Thursday, November 1st, the Hyatt Carmel Highlands is hosting the Gateway to Big Sur with 35 wineries and 15 chefs from all over coming together for a truly magical evening. The grand public tasting at the Post Ranch Inn on Saturday, November 3rd also promises to be incredible, with 50 wineries and 16 chefs at one of the world's most beautiful boutique resorts. The Big Sur Food and Wine Festival raises money for local nonprofits. Get more details at bigsurfoodandwine.org or call 831-869-1341. That's 831-869-1341. Don't miss this remarkable culinary celebration. November 1st through the 4th, bigsurfoodandwine.org.
Silicon Valley's top restaurants, including many new ones, are offering 3-course dinner menus at special prices. It's a great opportunity to sample the region's culinary diversity. From Bushido's izakaya-style dining experience to newcomer The Tables, innovative homegrown offerings, there are plenty of unique options to suit anyone's palate. Even the Silicon Valley Capital Club is offering non-members the opportunity to take in its breathtaking views while enjoying Michelin star-rated chef Michael Miller's contemporary specialties like pressed duck confit or chile yuzu prawns. Silicon Valley Restaurant Week is happening right now and runs through this Wednesday, October 24th. View menus and book a table online at siliconvalleyrestaurantweek.com/restaurants and find them on Facebook for dining giveaways, updates, and promotions.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org, the folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson. Is Megan there?
Sure. Follow me. The kids are in the kitchen making sandwiches.
Hey, Julie. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Megan. Hey, Megan.
Yeah?
You're a total freak. God, you're ugly. And dumb. Oh, and your makeup makes you look like a tramp. Tommy Morris told me you guys made out.
Oh, my God.
Everybody knows. The whole school knows. He said your breath smelled like garbage. And that dress is totally hideous. You look like a big fat clown. Disgusting. Oh, and by the way, nice zit.
If you wouldn't say it in person, why say it online? Delete cyberbullying. Don't write it, don't forward it. For more information, visit ncpc.org, a message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition of America, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
And a very good morning, everyone, on this Sunday fun day as you get your day started here in California. Wonderful to have you with us, and we certainly hope your day is off to a good start so far. Maybe get out there and get some exercise before the rain kicks in this week. Enjoy California's outdoors. Well, we had a really hot, warm week last week, and now everything's turning way more fall, I guess, harvesty with the clouds. We got cloud cover this morning here in San Luis Obispo, and I think that's the case mostly for the coastal areas anyway. And then we'll have regular rain type clouds moving in overnight, as I understand it. At any rate, I am your host, Randall White. Patty Pyburn's sitting this segment out, but she'll be with us again at the bottom of the hour. Hey, did you feel the earthquake overnight? If you did, head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/eatdrinkexplore, and drop us a little note. We'll share that throughout the show. It was just a rumbler there in the King City area, coming in at 5.3 on the, I don't know if they call it the Richter scale anymore, but a magnitude 5.3, we'll say. And people do report feeling it all the way from the San Francisco Bay Area, South Bay, all the way Santa Cruz on down through Monterey County, San Luis Obispo County, and Santa Maria. People feeling it in Santa Maria and Santa Barbara County and into the Central Valley as well. So pretty much our listening area is the area that got woken up right there just seconds before midnight. So we'll call it an earthquake yesterday, but it really hit overnight and practically this morning. And there's been several aftershocks, relatively strong ones in the 3 range. And so we'll keep our eye on that throughout the morning and update you as information comes in. Okay, this is our health and fitness segment here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. And I guess it was about a month and a half ago or so. My husband Ricardo was shopping at Costco and picked up a bag of hemp hearts. And I'm just reaching to grab one here, show it to you on the Ustream if you're watching us that way or online. And I was like, well, what are these? You know, how do I use them? And it says on the bag to go ahead and sprinkle them on a salad or into your yogurt. Well, I eat oatmeal every morning, and I thought, what if I just threw like a tablespoon into my oatmeal? And I've been doing that now for a month and a half or more, and it is delicious, and it adds protein and some good fats into my diet. So I thought, hey, this is something that I've been doing. I've always been kind of curious about the whole hemp thing and why it's illegal in the United States and that sort of thing. So I contacted the manufacturers of this product, Manitoba Harvest, and asked them if they would come on the show. And sure enough, the founder of the company, Mike Fata, agreed to join us this morning, and he has a very interesting story. You'll want to hear this. Mike joins us right now from Canada, and a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So I'm very curious, Mike. Years ago, you were overweight. You weighed more than 300 pounds, and you started working hemp into your diet and lost a lot of weight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I grew up and wasn't educated about health, and unfortunately, a fast food restaurant set up right beside my school, and and quickly I skyrocketed to 300 pounds, and I woke up one day when I was 18 and decided to change my diet and change my lifestyle, and lost a bunch of weight, over 120 pounds.
Mike, who recommended that you start eating hemp products?
It was actually, I went on a number of fad diets first, and the no-fat diet was a big one, and I learned the hard way about essential fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6, and a friend, Martin Moravchik, that had been working with getting hemp legalized in Canada, introduced me to him, and I thought, there's something really here. It's a great chasing product and really nutritious and really helped to stabilize me because I was going on this no-fat kick.
So at the time, hemp was not legal in Canada, and we'll talk about that next segment more in our business segment to find out how you went about making all that happen and now operating a company that deals in hemp. But on the health side of things now, since hemp wasn't legal at that time, where was the hemp coming from that you were eating when you started this diet?
That was the first year, actually, that we had got hemp legal in Canada for research and development. So it was Canadian hemp, and I instantly fell in love. It was hemp oil at that time, and such a nice nutty flavor that hemp seed and hemp food products have. And I learned about the essential fats, omega-3 and omega-6, and hemp even has some of the longer chain fatty acids, stearidonic acid, SDA, and gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. Both are very long chain and healthy fats, similar to fish.
Oh, okay. So it seems counterintuitive that you would add fat to your diet to lose fat, but that's how it works, right?
That's very much how it works. You need to eat the right type of fat, and that's why those omega-3s and omega-6s are called essential fatty acids, because your body can't produce them, and you need to eat them. And they can actually help to break down and help your body better metabolize fats.
That's interesting to me. So when I have been introduced to hemp in the past, it has always been, clothing products or something that requires sort of a rope-like material. Also, I've seen the closest I saw to a food product was like lip balm, and and so when I saw these hemp hearts in our refrigerator several weeks back, I thought, really, like actually eating the hemp? Do you find that it's a big education process to get people on that track?
Very much so. We've been it's been 15 years now since we've been in business, and every day is educating the public. Basically, hemp has two components to it. It's a fiber, the fiber part of the plant, and then the seed. And the fiber has been used for a long time for making ropes and paper and other construction grade materials, and also linen. So they're making clothes out of it. But the seed, which has been utilized for thousands of years as well, for the healthy properties in the oil and making a meal out of it. But less people know about it. More people know about the fiber aspects of the plant.
Yeah. So you have the hemp hearts. You have hemp oil, which I have here in my hand as well. that you guys were nice enough to send us a package of. Primarily because not all of this is available to us here. It's something that you guys did get into Costco. That's where we found it here locally. Are you in some other chains?
Yeah, and it's been we're in a growing number of stores, but again, it's about we're out there educating every day, educating not only consumers but the trade on why they want to sell our products. So we are available throughout California in the natural food stores and like Whole Foods and in some of the grocery chains, even into some of those Costco stores as well. So it's becoming more widely available as it becomes more popular and people learn about the healthy properties of the products.
Mike, do you find that California is an open-minded market when it comes to this, compared to other portions of the United States where you may be trying to sell?
Very much so, yeah. California is a very good market for us, and people are interested in learning new things.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Are you still there? I want to make sure we didn't lose you. Okay, good. we had a little phone glitch there.
Interference.
Patty Pipern's back with us.
Yes, I have a question. I was over here actually doing some work, but listening intently. I have a question. You mentioned the oil being sort of nutty in flavor. Is that something you can use to cook with the way you would use olive oil, or how do you use that?
Yeah, what's the smoke point on hemp? Is it something you can cook with?
Hemp does have a lower smoke point because of the essential fatty acids. So foods that are rich in omega-3 and omega-6, they're best used in cold applications. So you can use it as a salad dressing mixed with a little bit of apple cider or red wine or balsamic vinegar. It's delicious, or even lemon juice. Or you can add it to hot foods, but it's better to use it as a finishing oil after you've cooked the food.
So like for a salad dressing, it would be good.
Yeah. The great thing about using fats in a salad, it shows that it does help people lose weight because it gives you a more satiated feeling. You feel like you're full and you don't eat as much. And it combines with the nutrients so well in the salad. They just had that study a couple of months back. We had it here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Okay, so Mike Fata is joining us right now with Manitoba Harvest. He's sticking on through the commercial break. Plus, we want to let you know that exclusively for listeners of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, you can order some of their hemp products, 20% discount. You just need to go to manitobaharvest.com, and when you place your order, enter the code Eat, Drink, Explore. It's that easy. We'll remind you during the next segment here. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio on this Sunday morning, 8:28 the time. Great to have you with us. We're back in a moment.
The 2012 Big Sur Food and Wine Festival starts in less than 2 weeks, and what a festival it will be. 4 fabulous days of amazing culinary and wine delights in typical Big Sur style, featuring more than 70 wineries and 30 chefs all weekend long. On opening night, Thursday, November 1st, the Hyatt Carmel Highlands is hosting the Gateway to Big Sur with 35 wineries and 15 chefs from all over coming together for a truly magical evening. The grand public tasting at the Post Ranch Inn on Saturday, November 3rd also promises to be incredible with 50 wineries and 16 chefs at one of the world's most beautiful boutique resorts. The Big Sur Food and Wine Festival raises money for local nonprofits. Get more details at bigsurfoodandwine.org or call 831-869-1341. That's 831-869-1341. Don't miss this remarkable culinary celebration. November 1st through the 4th, bigsurfoodandwine.org.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
What if it wasn't always about getting ahead? What if you didn't care about being on the fast track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track, to volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being. Like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmers market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
Good morning, everyone. You are listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio live every Sunday morning from 8 to 10 right here on your local station. And great to have you joining us starting a much cooler Sunday than what we had last week. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn.
Good morning. And it is much cooler on this Sunday.
For sure. The clouds have moved in, which is kind of nice for us. The position of our studio has windows that when the sun is intense really comes beaming in on us. And so we like it with all the lights we have on in here and that sort of thing. Hey, Patty, overnight, just before midnight on the Central Coast, there was a little earthquake. Can you update our listeners for that?
Yes, here is the update. That earthquake, people are reporting they felt it from Santa Maria all the way up through the Bay Area. It happened just a little bit before midnight, registering magnitude 5.3, the epicenter near King City, right along the San Andreas Fault. And people even felt some aftershocks that have been rattling throughout the morning hours, as strong as 3.7. We have not heard of any sort of damage as a result of this. And as you pointed out earlier, people may start getting up this morning and finding out that a few things may have been knocked off of store shelves or something of that sort.
Yeah, but that's certainly strong enough to do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that was a lot of people felt that. At 5.3.
A lot of people on our staff here felt it. Anthony's on the 3rd floor of a condo complex in San Luis Obispo, and he felt it. Some of our listeners down in Santa Maria, which is in Santa Barbara County, felt it. So that's pretty far distance, you know, to cover. People in the Central Valley felt it as well. If you felt it, let us know on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/eatdrinkexplore. We always are interested in hearing those sorts of things. I have an email into a guest we had on the show last week with the Monterey County Park System. They have that museum in King City. So when I got up this morning and heard about the earthquake, I sent her a note and said, hey, let me know if there was any damage there. And if you felt it, it'd be fun to have you on the phone.
Right. Get a personal update.
So this is our business segment. And who we have on the phone right now joining us from Canada is Mike Fata. And he started with a couple of his friends, Manitoba Harvest. They are a hemp foods and oils company. I find it fascinating because I eat hemp seeds in my oatmeal every morning. And I thought, you know what? I think this is something that people need to be introduced to. It's a health food, but currently hemp can only be grown in Canada. We can't grow it here in the United States because, in my opinion, we have some archaic laws. Okay, Mike Fata, welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program.
Yes, thank you.
Did you find it a difficult process to help get those laws in Canada changed? What's the reasoning for banning hemp? It's a cousin to marijuana, but it doesn't contain the same properties.
Correct. Yeah, hemp and marijuana are both in the cannabis family, but hemp doesn't have any psychoactive drug. So it's used for industrial purposes. It's used for food, but it doesn't have any drug properties. So people can't get high or fail a drug test. But yeah, it took over 5 years to get the laws changed in Canada. It's not. It wasn't a short process because it was just a lot of education. People were confused, thinking that marijuana was a drug or that hemp was mixed in with marijuana and was a drug, and that's just not the case. But first it went to the provincial level, which is very much like state level, and then went up to the federal government. And in 1998 we were successful in getting the laws changed.
Well, as a result, we can't grow it here, and so we have to import all of our hemp, including your products. It's a little bit, in my opinion, like banning California's state flower, the California poppy. We can't grow no more poppies in California because they're related to those poppies that they make heroin from.
The opium
poppies, right?
Yeah, it's very much the same. There's poppies that don't have any drug aspect, and there's poppies that have that contain opiums that they make a drug out of. So it's very similar on hemp and marijuana in the cannabis family.
Are there large industrial forces that are? Is there a reason why there would be a push to
some
keep
lobby
it banned?
That says we don't grow hemp because it's going to encroach on what we're doing?
Yeah, you know what? One would say that hemp can be competitive to other industries, whether it's the pulp and paper industry or the rope and cordage industry. But I think there's much more to gain from the healthy properties of hemp, specifically the ones in the food in the hemp seed. It's sort of nonsense that it's banned, and I think we're fighting at that in the U.S. as well to get hemp legal in the U.S. and I'm quite confident that it'll happen at some point.
So along with the health aspects, which we were discussing before, it being a healthy alternative to add to your diet, are there ecological factors that hemp could be beneficial in using it as a product in place of some other? And I don't know, but I think that, if there was that advantage, maybe this would encourage people to kind of open their minds.
Yeah, definitely. Hemp is a great crop because it's a very hardy crop and it grows really quickly, and so you can grow it with less chemical inputs, and it's also a really good crop to grow certified organically as well. So it does have ecological inputs impacts that are positive, and there's every civilized nation grows hemp, and except for the U.S. So it's really just but it's legal to have the products and purchase the products and consume the products in the U.S. So it really is just the change in the law would be really impactful to American farmers.
If hemp were to be legalized here in the United States, would you consider expanding Manitoba Harvest to have some plantations here in, say, California, where I'm pretty certain that the climate would be favorable to growing hemp?
Very much so. We know that as soon as the U.S. as soon as hemp is legal in the U.S., and that many more consumers will know about the healthy benefits of the products, and we'll continue to expand operation to service the market there. And actually, we have family that are farmers, not in California, but in North Dakota, and there's many states that they're inviting hemp at a state level, but it's really just the federal government that's standing in the way right now from farmers starting to grow the crop.
There was a large drought throughout many portions of the United States in the Midwest. The corn was negatively impacted in a big way. Is hemp a drought-tolerant plant?
It's very much a drought-tolerant plant. It has a very long taproot, so it can reach down further than traditional crops into the soil to pull moisture from the lower soil beds.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so I have a bag in front of me here of your organic hemp hearts. On the bag, you say sprinkle on salad, cereal, and yogurt, which would be non-cooking sorts of things. So every morning when I put it in my yogurt, I think, am I not supposed to be cooking this? Like, is it something that should be kept uncooked? Is it a problem that I cook it with my oatmeal?
It's not a problem that you cook it. It is a great product that you can eat raw. But it makes it's a wonderful addition to a lot of foods. You can use it in baking. You can use it in stir fries. And we have hundreds of recipes on our website at ManitobaHarvest.com. But it very much is a product that can be eaten raw, or you can eat it cooked.
So this may be out of the scope of your your experience, but when Randall mentioned the drought that so affected corn and then has this domino effect, it's we're seeing it in a lot of other areas. Would this be an alternative for adding to animal feed, which is one of the things that corn is used for?
Good point, Patty. Yeah,
It is actually, and we've been supporting research at the University of Manitoba, which is a big agriculture school here in Canada, on hemp for animal feed. It's that next after people are enjoying the great taste of the products and the healthy benefits, but it also can be used for animal feed as well.
It seems like if you were to use just one word to describe the hemp plant, it would be versatile.
Very much so.
Wow.
And used for thousands of years. And even the U.S., it was legal to grow hemp in the U.S. In the early 1900s, and the hemp and in the U.S. grew a lot of hemp for the fiber and for food, and it was banned in 1937. So haven't been able to grow it in the U.S. for the last 60 or 70 years here, but it very much is a value-added crop that will be coming back to America.
We know that laws can be rolled back. Prohibition was rolled back.
Right.
A lot of the laws surrounding making a home brew, microbrewed beers and stuff, those got rolled back in the 80s and 90s, and now you have brew pubs in just about every city in the United States, which is fantastic. Seems like this is one of those laws that was just archaic, and the thinking behind it at the time, maybe had some good points, but we now, in hindsight, look at it, and really, it's a law that should be repealed. I'm surprised it hasn't. I imagine it's a federal law, so I don't know that California could, as just a state, change the rules. But a lot of times things start here, so
right.
maybe if we have a push. Hey, Mike, one thing I want to really thank you for is that your company is offering listeners of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio exclusive 20% off all of your products there that they can buy online.
Yeah, just if you go to ManitobaHarvest.com and shop on our store and enter that promo code Eat, Drink, Explore at checkout, and you get 20% off. And again, we have a couple hundred recipes on our website, some great tasting foods, and people should check it out.
Yeah, and they have starter packs, and if you've never tried it before and you want to
sample some of the different products.
Yeah, kind of small. So if you go to our website, eatdrinkexplore.com, and go to the program summary, I have a link to Manitoba Harvest there with the promo code right under it. I mean, it's easy, Eat, Drink, Explore. But you can just copy and paste it right into the coupon code box at your checkout. And very educational couple of segments there, Mike. We want to bring you back from time to time to have little updates on the progress of legalizing hemp here in the United States. Mike Fata with Manitoba Harvest, ManitobaHarvest.com. Thank you so much for joining us here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
You're very welcome, and thanks for having me.
All right, 8:44 the time on this Sunday morning. It's a Sunday shaker of a morning here in California. We had an earthquake overnight that we'll tell you about a little more about after the commercial break here. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. Little overcast. Next segment, we're headed to San Francisco. 49 hours in San Francisco this holiday season. You can carve that amount of time out of your busy schedule to enjoy the city by the bay. We'll have some deals for you right after this.
That perfectly cooked egg, or just a hot cup of coffee. Maybe breakfast is a full bowl of cereal and some fresh orange juice. But whatever you're eating, you want to know what's in your food. That's why so many of us, from the California Nurses to Sierra Club to the Consumer Federation of America, say yes to Proposition 37. 37 just gives us the right to know if genetically engineered ingredients are in our food. Prop 37 puts simple information on packaging, so we know what we're really eating. These genetically engineered foods are already labeled in nearly 50 other countries. We just want the right to know what's in our food. Join us in voting yes on 37. Find out more at carighttoKnow.org. Paid for by Yes on 37 for your right to know if your food has been genetically engineered. Supported by consumer advocates, makers of organic products, and California farmers. Major funding by Mercola.com Health Resources, LLC, and the Organic Consumers Fund.
Silicon Valley's top restaurants, including many new ones, are offering 3-course dinner menus at special prices. It's a great opportunity to sample the region's culinary diversity. From Bushido's izakaya-style dining experience to newcomer The Table's innovative homegrown offerings, there are plenty of unique options to suit anyone's palate. Even the Silicon Valley Capital Club is offering non-members the opportunity to take in its breathtaking views while enjoying Michelin star-rated chef Michael Miller's contemporary specialties like pressed duck confit or chile yuzu prawns. Silicon Valley Restaurant Week is happening right now and runs through this Wednesday, October 24th. View menus and book a table online at siliconvalleyrestaurantweek.com/restaurants and find them on Facebook for dining giveaways, updates, and promotions.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
8:49 the time here on this Sunday morning. We are broadcasting live from California's Central Coast, and this is the place to hear all things California, food, beverage, travel trends. And I am Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, and you do not have to tell me twice to go to San Francisco. It is one of my favorite cities. I lived there for years. It is just an absolute gem, world-class city with so much to do. And the holiday season coming up, Target is the first company to run some ads, I read the other day. I haven't seen them yet, but the holiday ads are already out.
And here we go.
But when you're planning for travel, you need to plan in advance.
True.
And so we are in advance of the holiday season, not by so many weeks, you know. We're just a week and some days away from Halloween, and then once that's over, you know, boom, we're in November, and it is November and December are 2 full months of holidays. I mean, that's it, right?
It's just yes,
for the most part, because you're leading into Thanksgiving and all that sort of thing. So the San Francisco Travel Association has a little package they've put together called 49 Hours in San Francisco, and it is their holidays edition. I love going shopping down in Union Square area and going ice skating. If I go ice skating, I typically do it at the Embarcadero there. Also has one at Justin Herman Plaza. But at Union Square, they have it as well. And then I love to slip into this place called Lefty O'Doul's. It's a piano bar with a old school restaurant attached, and that's a fun place to go and hang out as well in between shopping. So joining us right now on the line is Matt Steiker. He is with the San Francisco Travel Association and has a little bit to tell us here about the 49-hour package. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Randall. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. So what sort of deals can people get during this holiday promotion?
Well, this is a great deal. There's actually it was terrific hearing you talk about everything you know about San Francisco. I don't even know if I can necessarily even add a lot because it sounds like you're so well versed in the city and what's going on. I feel like I should be asking you questions.
No.
This is a program that we've been running for the last couple of years. 49 Hours of San Francisco comes directly out of the fact that in a lot of places you can really spend an average weekend and it will take you 48 hours, but 49 hours, but San Francisco is never an average weekend, so you need at least 49 hours.
You need one extra hour to make sure you get everything
Exactly
done.
right, and so with that extra hour, what you get is all kinds of great deals and specials and offers. So for example, if you're staying 3 or more nights at some of the participating hotels that we've got, you'll receive 25% off your entire stay. So if you end up staying 4 nights, you're basically here 3 nights or 4 nights and paying for only 3.
Oh, I like
that. So just purely from a hotel perspective, there's all kinds of deals. But then on our site, we've worked with a lot of our member and partner organizations, and that really runs the gamut across retail stores, attractions, restaurants, etc. And a lot of them are offering up great deals as well. So we have these really fun itineraries built out on our website. One of them, I'll just give you an example, and you talked a little bit about shopping in and around Union Square, but this particular itinerary is called the Shopping Elf, and we have reached out to all of the retail businesses, or a lot of the retail businesses that we work with, and have deals at Pier 39, all the shopping around there, Westfield, right in the middle of the city, the Westfield San Francisco Center.
That's by like Moscone Center?
Cetera.
Is Westfield's there by Moscone Center?
It's actually kind of right in between Moscone Center and Yerba Buena. It's right on Market Street.
Okay.
It's a super convenient place to get to. But it's even fun things like we have a store called Best in Show, which is one of the pet stores. And so if you're shopping for your holiday cat or dog, there's great gift items that you can find at great deals there as well. All kinds of really unique, only in San Francisco or made in San Francisco stores as well. So things like the Golden Gate Bridge Gift Center, which is out obviously at the bridge, but they have great holiday deals. Rickshaw Bag Works, which is a local made in San Francisco company of messenger bags and other type of bags. They have a factory right here in San Francisco and a showroom that's right there as well.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that something is manufactured still there in the city? That's great.
But believe it or not, there are hundreds of companies that are still making great products in San Francisco, and it ranges everything from, as I just said, messenger bags to great lines of apparel. Of course, we have terrific chocolatiers in San Francisco as well. Chocolates right on the Embarcadero. We have coffee makers, Ritual Coffee and Blue Bottle Coffee. Pete's is right across the bay from us. So
Blue Bottle is amazing.
Isn't it incredible?
I wish we had them down here.
Yeah. So there are amazing deals and specials to be had in San Francisco during this holiday season.
What about some of the outlying shopping areas that people, tourists that go into the city are automatically drawn to Union Square and, like you said, the Fisherman's Wharf Pier 39 area. But what about like Union Street, which people confuse with Union Square, or even like out in Noe Valley? Valley, like 24th, or some of those shopping districts that are off the beaten path, but I think have far more San Francisco flavor.
We totally agree. There are deals to be had really throughout the city. In fact, the Rickshaw Bag Works, just to take it off the top of my head, Randall, is in Dogpatch. Sort of a little known but up and coming area where there's some growing retail and there's some growing restaurants. And it's probably one of the next neighborhoods of San Francisco. So,
isn't Dogpatch where, what's the name of that picture company that was bought up by Facebook? Everyone has it on their
Instagram.
phone. Isn't Instagram in that Dogpatch neighborhood?
I think it is.
And everyone became a millionaire overnight?
Yep, exactly right.
That's right.
I wish.
Yes, I know. I want in on that next one. Hey, there's a store that I want to tell people to check out if they get a chance, and it is on Castro by 18th, and it is called...
is it Urban Bazaar?
No, it's a place where when the items that you purchase there directly give money to the AIDS network.
Yes.
I shouldn't have brought it up without having it
knowing
on
the name.
I want to say it's called Out of the Closet, but that's not it. That's a secondhand store.
Something on the roof?
Yeah, it is something. You know what? I'll look it up during the commercial break, and during the next hour, I'll throw that out there.
Yeah.
But I like it because there's a lot of locally made products in there, and all the profits go to a good cause. And so you feel you're killing two birds with one stone.
Absolutely right.
When you're doing your shopping that way. I love it. Where can people find out all this great information for the 49-hour package deal?
So on our website, which is we'll send them to 49 hours, and you spell out hours 49 HOURS of SF.com.
Fantastic. We have a link at eatdrinkexplore.com as well under today's program summary. Matt Steicher from the San Francisco Travel Association, that's the city's tourism promotion arm. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Have a great weekend and great holiday season.
Likewise.
Under one roof.
Under one roof.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. I knew Patty could do it for us. Pull it out of the bag there at the last moment.
Well done, Patty.
All right, everyone, stick around. We have a full hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio coming up next. That is our Compass Hour. The word is shuttle. And boy, we've got some great stuff to talk about. Great stuff to show you, too, if you get a chance to watch the simulcast online at eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn, my partner in crime for the past many years, whether it's on television or radio. We like to do this morning sort of gig together. Hello, Patty.
Good morning, Randall White.
Yes, and so we're waking up to overcast skies here in San Luis Obispo. Hello to all our Crush 92.5 listeners. Great to have you here. This hour, by the way, of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio brought to you by the wonderful, terrific folks at Eberly Winery. That's in Paso Robles, voted the 6th most popular wine region in the entire United States.
Very nice.
By the users of TripAdvisor.com. So you want to go to Paso Robles and have a great time? Well, how about taking a complimentary wine tasting and cave tour at Eberly? They're open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock. So they open up in an hour. You can fit in a little cave tour and then some wine tasting before lunch. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. So you have one of the best wine tasting regions and then one of the best tours, all in one place. Eberly Winery, located on 46 East in Paso Robles. So that's as you're driving out of town toward the Central Valley. It's on your left-hand side. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. That's EBERLE winery.com. All right, Patty, people just waking up and tuning in maybe don't know about it, but there was an earthquake overnight, and it was felt here in San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara County, but it struck to the north of us.
Yes, it was felt far and wide, and it was a 5.3 located just about 16 miles away from King City along the San Andreas Fault. Happened just minutes before midnight. We are not hearing of any significant damage or any reports, just people being rattled and maybe even woke up in the middle of the night. Some strong aftershocks followed. There was one as strong as 3.7. So even, if you didn't feel the initial one, you may have felt some of those aftershocks.
Yeah, because a 3.7 would even make the news in some cases, so, and that's the aftershock.
The Santa Cruz Sentinel reporting that it was 6 miles deep.
Okay, so that's a relatively deep one or relatively shallow? I'm not sure.
I feel like that would not be considered shallow from, reporting on earthquakes.
Yeah. But it certainly was felt far and wide.
It was definitely felt.
Into the Central Valley as well. Our audio director here in the morning, Anthony Renaro, lives on a third floor, so it's magnified a little bit when you're up a ways. And he said that he was woken up here in San Luis Obispo when that happened. Betty Smith, one of our listeners, commented on our Facebook page, facebook.com/eatdrinkexplore. She said she felt it in Santa Maria for sure, and that it seemed to roll for a while. I don't know if our producer in the other room, Cora, felt it or not. I haven't heard from her. She did feel it?
I was going to say, she posted on Facebook, right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And so Ricardo and I didn't feel it. You did not.
I slept right through it.
You were out scout.
Yes.
And so, so anyway, it's always, I don't know, when earthquakes hit in California, everyone wants to talk about it, especially if they felt it,
Yes, and we just had the great shakeout last week on the 18th.
Right.
So that huge earthquake preparedness drill.
And this was on the San Andreas, maybe one of the best known fault lines in the entire world. So,
and I did read a report this morning that it was felt at the Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant there in Avila. Nothing disrupted, nothing, business as usual, but they reported it as an unusual event because they felt it in their control room, but everything is fine. But still gets you thinking when that happens.
When the big one hit in 1989 on the Loma Prieta, I was living in Avila Beach, right in the shadow of Diablo Canyon, and I was on an upper floor there, too. And we were getting ready to watch the World Series, the Bay Bridge Series, A's and the Giants. And, by the way, good luck to the Giants later today. But I felt it and I went, whoa, what's going on here? And then I heard that Diablo had issued an alert, and that didn't make me comfortable. But as it turned out, everything was fine for us here on the Central Coast. 9:04 the time. We are back in 1 minute with the final hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Join us.
For the latest video and information from today's show, head on over to eatdrinkexplore.com. We're constantly updating it with the latest food, beverage, and travel trends. Also, we're launching a new section of the site called California Love. This is where we recommend great companies, and the best part is every single business we feature is locally owned. We've checked them out and are confident you'll love them as much as we do. This is a great tool to have as we head into the holiday shopping season. Since you're already spending money, you might as well support your neighbor. We choose businesses that give back to the community, care about the environment, or use only the freshest local and organic ingredients. They also make their products here, not overseas. Our California Love business recommendation tool is still in the development stages, but will be available very soon at eatdrinkexplore.com. Eat Drink Explore Media, your lifestyle information source.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Fabulous.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
I love hearing our good friend Monica Vicente saying fabulous.
Fabulous.
It is a fabulous start to the day. 9:06 the time. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. This is your source for all things California, primarily food, beverage, and travel trends. We want you to get the most out of your life. And hopefully you do. This is our Compass Hour. It's a spin on the typical talk show. We take one word, and then everything we talk about this hour is...
it is directed by that word.
Yeah, branched off of it. And so today's word is shuttle. And it's the main reason you probably know is the Space Shuttle Endeavour's in its new home, as it was a week ago. But we've learned some things over the week, and some filmmakers have put together some projects showing in time-lapse form the shuttle moving from its temporary home there at LAX to its new home at the California Science Center. And it's an amazing video. We will share with you if you watch us online via our Ustream feed that you can find at eatdrinkexplore.com, or you can even search it there just on Ustream. But it's pretty amazing footage. I mean, just really amazing footage. And I'm hoping that we get to speak with the photographer behind it, Matt Javot. I spoke with him on the phone on Friday. He was headed to New York and said that he would love to join us. But then I've been having a hard time getting, You
haven't heard from him yet this morning.
Once people get to New York, they get sucked into that, big Apple atmosphere, and it's kind of hard to get in touch with them.
His time lapse is quite amazing, though.
It really is. So I wanted to talk with him a little bit about how he put it together, but fortunately, I had some of that conversation on Friday. So if we don't get in touch with him, we can still share the video and also some of his comments. And then right after that, we will talk with the man who brought the shuttle to the Science Center, who years ago started this in motion because it was a years-long project to get it there, and quite a coup. And so we'll speak with him about what it took, and then how up close and personal will you really be able to get to Shuttle Endeavour once the exhibit opens later this month. And then finally, a different type of shuttle, a wine shuttle. It's a hop-on, hop-off version. I'm not typically the type that likes to take an organized tour because I march to the beat of my own drum.
You don't say.
Right? So I love the concept behind this one. You get on when you want, you get off when you want, and the other aspect is the entire fleet is run on biodiesel. And so...
very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's got that whole green aspect to it. But right now, it's time for us to do a little trivia talk, and it all surrounds our word, shuttle. And so, as is the tradition, Patty Pyburn starts off with the very first trivia question, and I have a feeling it's going to be based on Shuttle Endeavour. Or shuttle in general.
Just shuttles in general.
Okay.
There was a couple different ways to go, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go with the shuttle.
Yeah.
Okay, so of the shuttles, all of them, what is their top speed, Randall White?
Like the fastest that
the fastest they travel. At some point in their journey, there is a top speed they hit.
I will say, I can just be in the ballpark, right?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to say... I don't.
Way back in our morning show days, we talked about this.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give myself the. I'm not even 1,000 miles an hour. I don't know.
You're kind of close. Times
Really?
17 and a half.
Oh. Okay, well, I clearly didn't get that one.
Okay, so while they're in orbit, they travel around the Earth at a speed of 17,500 miles an hour. And at that speed, the crew gets to see a sunrise or sunset every 45 minutes.
Whoa. That's quite a day.
That is cool, yes.
That is pretty cool. That would freak me out, looking out the window and seeing something that major, you know. Okay, so Yosemite National Park. You're familiar with it, Patty?
I am.
Have you been there?
No, not to Yosemite, no.
Okay, so Yosemite National Park's Valley Shuttle helps transport visitors to many of the park's most popular landmarks. So I know a lot of our listeners have been there and will likely know the answer to this, but I had a feeling Patty hadn't been there, so I thought I might be able to stump her. Which of these is not part of the shuttle route? Glacier Point, the General Grant Giant Sequoia, or the Mirror Lake Trailhead? Which one of those
It's going to be just a sheer guess. I'm going with the Glacier.
Yeah.
Total guess. I have no clue. I was wrong.
You were wrong. The General Grant Giant Sequoia is part of Sequoia National Park.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
That was a big giveaway.
Glacier Point is a lookout above the valley, and that's where you see those beautiful shots of Half Dome, sort of an iconic shot there from Glacier Point. And then Mirror Lake Trailhead is at the far end of the valley after you drive in, and it's a wonderful starting point to go hike up to Vernal Falls or Nevada Falls out to Mirror Lake, which is slowly becoming a meadow. Through the lake has really lost the amount of water, and it's just natural sediment. I mean, that's part of nature. That's how it works.
The way it goes.
So eventually, it will be the Mirror Meadow Trailhead.
I'm waiting to go to Yosemite with you in the RV.
I really want to do it. I want to do it, and I want to do it soon. So winter's a good time to go, actually.
Really?
It's a beautiful time there. All right, Patty, kick down the next trivia question my way.
Name the only president to watch a shuttle launch.
You'd like in person to actually be there and watch the shuttle launch. So that would be in Florida. I'm going to say it was George Bush because his brother was big in Florida. So.
Only president on hand to witness a space shuttle launch, President Bill Clinton and his wife, Hillary Clinton, watched Mercury astronaut John Glenn's return to space on October 29th, 1998.
Wow, then I have to give myself the wah-wah because I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising to me with so many shuttles launching.
I think it would have been more presidentially attended. I had no idea.
And you would think back in the 80s when the shuttle first took off, it was in the early 80s, right, when the very first ones took off, seems like it was such a monumental event that back then it would be President Reagan would have been there, but something else must have been
President Obama had planned to attend, but then the shuttle launch was rescheduled for reasons beyond his control, so he missed seeing the launch.
There are some other things the presidents are up to.
Yeah, I guess they're busy.
Right.
They're kind of busy.
Okay. Patty, here we go. Which U.S. Airlines regional carrier was formerly called an airline within an airline, and it had the nickname the Shuttle? Is it United, American, or Delta? Which U.S. Airlines regional carrier, formerly called an airline within an airline, was nicknamed the Shuttle?
So my choices are American, United, or Delta. I'm going with American.
And you would be...
Wrong.
It's United. It's
United, okay. I didn't think it was Delta.
No. Its most popular route, maybe it might have even been its only route, I'm not sure, was between San Francisco and Los Angeles.
Oh, and that would be a popular one.
It was made incredibly popular during the dot-com explosion.
Right.
But then what happened after the dot-com boom? The bust.
The bust.
Yeah, the bubble, as
the bubble
we know,
burst.
It burst, and so did the airline. Well,
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to say that about airlines.
No.
The airline went out of business.
The shuttle was no longer popular.
Right. Okay. So,
Okay.
Patty,
Last one. Are we out of time?
We're out of time, but we can pick it up on the other side of this commercial
save
break.
it.
We each have
Yes.
one left, and you are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network on this Sunday morning, 9:14 the time. Hope your day's off to a fantastic start. We are back in just a moment.
Silicon Valley's top restaurants, including many new ones, are offering 3-course dinner menus at special prices. It's a great opportunity to sample the region's culinary diversity. From Bushido's izakaya-style dining experience to newcomer The Table's innovative homegrown offerings, there are plenty of unique options to suit anyone's palate. Even the Silicon Valley Capital Club is offering non-members the opportunity to take in its breathtaking views while enjoying Michelin star-rated chef Michael Miller's contemporary specialties like pressed duck confit or chile yuzu prawns. Silicon Valley Restaurant Week is happening right now and runs through this Wednesday, October 24th. View menus and book a table online at siliconvalleyrestaurantweek.com/restaurants and find them on Facebook for dining giveaways, updates, and promotions.
The 2012 Big Sur Food and Wine Festival starts in less than 2 weeks, and what a festival it will be. 4 fabulous days of amazing culinary and wine delights in typical Big Sur style, featuring more than 70 wineries and 30 chefs all weekend long. On opening night, Thursday, November 1st, the Hyatt Carmel Highlands is hosting the Gateway to Big Sur, with 35 wineries and 15 chefs from all over coming together for a truly magical evening. The grand public tasting at the Post Ranch Inn on Saturday, November 3rd, also promises to be incredible, with 50 wineries and 16 chefs at one of the world's most beautiful boutique resorts. The Big Sur Food and Wine Festival raises money for local nonprofits. Get more details at bigsurfoodandwine.org or call 831-869-1341. That's 831-869-1341. Don't miss this remarkable culinary celebration. November 1st through the 4th, bigsurfoodandwine.org.
I don't recycle. I mean, we can just find another planet for your kids to live on, you know?
Noted non-recycler Tommy Crenshaw talks about the future.
Oh, I can totally see finding another planet that can support life when ours fills up with trash.
Log on to yougottabekidding.org and learn about all the ways you can recycle, unless you're into lame excuses like Tommy's.
Hey, recycling's just not my thing. Starting over on a new planet? Now that's exciting.
Don't be that guy, unless you want people looking at you funny. Log on to yougottabekidding.org.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
Good Sunday morning. 9:19 the time. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Yes, right here on this station live each and every Sunday morning from 8 until 10 o'clock. You can also find us online throughout the week at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you happen to be watching online, we do a video simulcast, and this would be a segment to do that because we will be showing you some time-lapse video of the shuttle moving from LAX to its new home at the California Science Center. That's coming up in just a moment. But first, Patty and I are going to finish our little trivia section, all based on the word shuttle. This is our Compass Hour, and we use one word to dictate the topics of the hour. Shuttle is that word. And Patty, I believe you were up next with a question.
My final question.
Yes.
Okay, so how far have all the shuttles combined together through the whole program? How far have they traveled?
Okay. So if they travel at 17,000 miles an hour, and they've been up...
I'm going to give you a hint. It's in the millions.
It's in the millions. I'll say 30 million miles.
Okay. I'll say you're wrong.
Let's see. Patty doesn't give me, it's always like these big, broad,
I know. Maybe I have to start doing a multiple choice.
Yes, like I do.
Thank you. I still don't get your questions right. 513.7 million miles.
500, whoa.
1.3 times the distance between Earth and Jupiter. All their trips combined together.
Really?
Yeah, more than 500 million miles. That's a lot of traveling.
A
lot of traveling. They deserve to retire.
I was going to say the same thing. They deserve retirement. Okay, so not the space shuttle, but the Super Shuttle is one of the largest airport transportation companies in the United States, if not the world. And they take approximately how many people to and from the nation's airports each year? And here's where she gets a multiple choice. 900,000, 4 million, or 8 million, the Super Shuttle. You've seen those in some of the larger LAX, SFO.
Right. So what are my choices?
900,000 people. This is each year. 4 million or 8 million?
4 million.
And the answer is 8 million,
8 million
people each year.
I was trying to play it safe and go in the middle.
That's a lot of people getting shuttled around.
People,
but all of that parking at the airports, they really gouge you. I mean, sometimes I've been on long trips before where halfway through the trip, I'm like, oh gosh, I've got all these days left that I'm getting charged at the airport.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking about that.
At the days, how much you're calculating.
Yeah, because it really starts to add up. So if you're going on a trip of any length, it is worth it to take a shuttle if you live it. And many of these, I think the Super Shuttle does the door-to-door action. There is a place up in the Bay Area near the Oakland airport that is a pretty cheap daily rate, and they take you to the airport. They have a shuttle that runs from their little off lot, and they even give you like a muffin and coffee at
nice. Because it can be a little stressful too,
right?
To go and find the parking, all of that stuff, and then you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to make it to the airport in time?
Right. So, and that was my final question.
That
your
was
final question. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is talk about a time-lapse video that was made regarding the shuttle's trip from LAX to its new home at the California Science Center, and it was done by photographer Matt Javot that I had an opportunity to speak with on Friday morning. I saw a news release, not a news release, but it was actual news story online on Friday morning as I was having my coffee, and I thought, hey, this is incredibly great video. This would really he'd make a great guest to talk about how he had to go about doing that. So I gave him a call, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. Matt is in New York right now, though, and we're having some difficulty getting in touch with him. So instead, I'll just let you know that he said he got approval from the city of Los Angeles to do this, and he had to set up. It was him and a team of photographers that put this video together.
Because it's from so many different vantage points. I was wondering how he was able to pull that off.
Right. Well, he had to get clearance, and he said that the police department worked with him really well. So he had some unprecedented access at one stretch of the video. You see the shuttle literally go over the top of his camera.
That's such a cool shot.
In order to do that, you have to have full security clearance, because that could be a recipe for disaster if they just let anybody do that. One of my favorite locations where he was shooting, and it was right before the shuttle went over the 405 freeway, which took some preparation with that Toyota truck that we talked about. Right there is a Los Angeles landmark known as Randy's Donuts.
It's a very cool shot.
Yes, and it's everyone's seen that sign, I think, at one point. It's iconic. You have the big Randy's Donut that spins. I don't know if it spins, but it's on top of the donut place.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
And I've always known about it because my name is Randy, Randall Randy,
Yes.
and so I've always wanted a picture of that in my house, but now I'm thinking I want a picture of it with the shuttle.
With the shuttle passing by.
So
And
some
what
pretty
was
cool
really
shots.
cool in this time lapse is some of the adjustments they had to make right at the moment that the shuttle got there. They showed them really quickly trim a tree or holding up the power lines so that it could pass under. Some
Exactly.
really cool shots.
Some fantastic shots, and it passes a number of landmarks. The LA Forum is there as well, and so Matt said that it was incredibly warm weather, which was nice.
Yes.
So people were braving 72 degrees.
Exactly.
And Matt said that large crowds would form at the point where he was about to shoot, and then the police would come over and say, you know what, we've got a delay. It's going to be like another hour or so. And he was like, oh, good, the crowd will leave.
And then he could get a better shot.
And then I can get a better shot. He said, no, they would sit there as long as it took. They were not going to miss the shuttle moving along. And so we actually have Matt on the line now from New York. He's given us a ring, and he could tell us in his own words what it was like to shoot this amazing video. Matt Javot joining us. Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. We have just enjoyed this video for the last several days, and now any people watching our video simulcast are able to see it as well. Boy, what an undertaking, and what sort of media reaction have you had over the last several days?
You know what? It's been incredible because the whole thing was, as I was there, obviously I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to time lapse a space shuttle going to LA. But quickly I realized that it was more just about the people.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting to try to capture that essence, and then to see people commenting today on, in the last few days, on how they got that in the video. They felt that connection and that sense of pride that I wanted to capture. So it's been really exciting. I mean, I got people telling me they're shedding tears over it, and it's like, as a filmmaker, that's ultimate payoff. That's such a joy.
Right. To hear that kind of reaction, to know that you've connected with people, but really you documented a historical moment for not only California, but really the whole country in the space shuttle program.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and that was it. I knew this was like a once in a lifetime, amazing thing that, I have a 5-year-old daughter. I hope that, she gets taught this in school about this historic event, and so it's just any part of it that I could be. It was such an honor.
Now, it was you and a team of photographers that did this. At what point during the shooting, for you personally, did you feel like, that's a money shot right there? Like that, I am so happy that I got that, and I hope it comes out when I get, when I get back to the studio or to wherever. That better be, be saved.
Absolutely, and I got to give credit to one of my guys. This was all a team effort, and his name is Joe Capra. And the money shot was when he had his camera set up and was getting ready to move it, and just had made eye contact with the people steering the shuttle and said, do you mind if I leave the camera here? And they said, yeah, it's fine. And it's the shot when where the shuttle comes literally drives over the camera.
That's an awesome shot.
The credit goes to Joe for that, but as a photographer, I would know that at that moment, there's the shot. That's it.
That's the one. And I was actually commenting before we had you on the line. I was commenting that, wow, you have to have some level of security clearance to get that done, but apparently you didn't.
Right. Yeah, that was one of those moments where it's just like, do you mind if we leave it here? It's like, sure. So credit to Joe for that, and all the guys too. I mean, this was one of those things that I knew when we first scouted, me and the Inglewood Police Department, that this was a 12-mile trek that was going to be very difficult, and there was no way that one person can do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, Matt, thank you for letting us share it with our viewers, and we'll let you go and enjoy New York City for now. But
thank you.
Really great work.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
The 2012 Big Sur Food and Wine Festival starts in less than 2 weeks, and what a festival it will be. 4 fabulous days of amazing culinary and wine delights in typical Big Sur style, featuring more than 70 wineries and 30 chefs all weekend long. On opening night, Thursday, November 1st, the Hyatt Carmel Highlands is hosting the Gateway to Big Sur, with 35 wineries and 15 chefs from all over coming together for a truly magical evening. The grand public tasting at the Post Ranch Inn on Saturday, November 3rd also promises to be incredible, with 50 wineries and 16 chefs at one of the world's most beautiful boutique resorts. The Big Sur Food and Wine Festival raises money for local nonprofits. Get more details at BigSurFoodAndWine.org or call 831-869-1341. That's 831-869-1341. Don't miss this remarkable culinary celebration, November 1st through the 4th, BigSurFoodAndWine.org.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
This is Betty White. I know you don't need one more thing to worry about, but listen, high blood pressure can cause kidney damage, blindness, heart attack, stroke, and you can have high blood pressure even if you feel all right. 1 in 7 adults has it, but it's easy to get your blood pressure checked, and you can treat it if it is too high. So don't worry about it, don't ignore it, just see your doctor and check it out.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
9:33 the time on this Sunday overcast morning. At least along California's central coast we have some overcast, but I believe it's going to stick around because we've got some rain in the forecast for Monday, and in Northern California, rain in the forecast for the majority of the week, at least the last I saw. I'm joined by Patty Pyburn, who has an update for us right now on an overnight earthquake that hit and was felt through a large chunk of our listening area. Patty?
That's right. It was just a couple of minutes before midnight when this 5.3 magnitude earthquake hit about 16 miles away from King City, right on the San Andreas Fault. And it was felt by people from all the way down in Santa Maria area, even a little south of that, all the way up through the Bay Area, widely felt. And followed up by some aftershocks, one of the most significant one measuring 3.7. So if you didn't feel that first initial quake, or maybe you were asleep and you don't know what jolted you awake, you may have felt some of those following aftershocks.
Yeah, felt in Santa Cruz, San Jose, the Bay Area, here in San Luis Obispo. Several people on our staff felt it. I didn't. I slept right through it. I'm always a little bummed out when I sleep through an earthquake.
Yes.
As much as I don't want them, I know they're damaging and stuff. There is some sort of energy spark you get.
And you want to know what everyone else is talking about when they say they felt it, and you're like, gosh, I was asleep.
I'll tell you where there's been a lot of energy spark around the whole shuttle down in Los Angeles. We just spoke on the phone last segment with photographer Matt Javot, who put together a beautiful time lapse that we've been showing you via our video stream. But the man responsible for getting the shuttle to its home now at the California Science Center is Dr. Ken Phillips. He's he's a curator there at the California Science Center in Los Angeles, and this didn't happen overnight, did it, Dr. Phillips?
No, it actually didn't. It sort of was a 20-year process that it sort of unfolded over. Doesn't seem like that looking back on it, but that's how long it took.
And is it one of those things where over the 20 years it kept building as it got to the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, pretty much in fits and starts, though. I mean, for example, we had the loss of the Columbia spacecraft in 2003.
Right.
So that was sort of midstream in this entire effort. You know, we started this about 1991 or so. So there were some valleys there as well. And there was lots of uncertainty. You know, at first we didn't know who was even going to make the assignment of the orbiters. It wasn't determined that the administrator, Charlie Bolden, would do that until relatively recently. So lots of uncertainty along the way.
What do we have? Is it 4 different locations in the United States where you can get up close and personal with a shuttle now?
Yeah, and in fact, we kind of make a nice family tour over time to do that. You can see the test model. That's the Enterprise at the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum in New York. And then the Atlantis is on display at the Kennedy Space and Rocket Center. They'll display that with the payload bay doors open like it's in space. The classic model, which is called which is Discovery, actually, that's at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. And that'll be displayed classically on its gear. And then we are having Endeavour ultimately displayed vertically in full launch configuration with the external tank and the solid rocket boosters. That's a few years down the road, but that's our goal here.
Wow. And you're almost answering my question I had for you was where, now that it's there, that was a big accomplishment. What is the future? What can we expect out of a visit to see the Endeavour?
So it's going on display almost immediately. In fact, October 30th we opened to the public, and we were having Endeavour in its horizontal configuration. There's a lot of graphic interpretation and a couple of videos that we've assembled, one of which includes a time-lapse, much like the one that your former guest had was discussing, and it will also have the opportunity for you to do some virtual fly-throughs of the cockpit so you can see what it looks like up there. It's kind of hard to get people in there.
And then during the time that it's in this horizontal configuration, the Science Center is building a sort of a permanent home for it, and that's where it will be in its launch position?
That's right, yeah. That is the Samuel Ocean Air and Space Center. It'll be in the launch position. But it won't just be Endeavour. That will include our entire aerospace collection, which includes aircraft of a number of vintages, all of our flown Apollo Command modules and Gemini modules. So it'll be a very comprehensive treatment of the aerospace subject area. And indeed, Endeavour will be in a launch position, and we're going to design in some way a gantry that will allow guests to actually ascend the entire length of the vehicle so you can study it from every conceivable perspective. So it won't be like a model at some distance. You'll be able to get really up close and personal to this.
I was wondering, ever since I heard that it was coming to Los Angeles, the number one question I've had that you can answer for me is, can you touch it? Can you actually reach out and put your hand on the shuttle?
No, we'll have people there to slap fingers who do that. No, you won't be able to touch it, but we're planning to open one of the payload bay doors, and with the gantry balconies as we imagine them, you'll be able to step a foot or so inside the payload bay. It's a huge cavernous space, so I think you'll get a pretty good idea of what an astronaut would feel like if they were working, payloads inside the bay, conducting experiments and things like that. That's our objective.
What famous payloads, or which famous payloads, I should say, were actually released into space via Endeavour?
Oh, there were so many. The Hubble telescope
was
that wasn't launched by Endeavour, but it was the first Hubble surfacing mission that was done by Endeavour. Intel satellites were wrestled into the payload bay. There was a couple of the International Space Station modules that were lofted into space by
So
Endeavour.
cool.
Endeavour was played a significant role in assembling the International Space Station, which is, I mean, it's an iconic vehicle for global cooperation. There's 16 member nations on that, so.
Wow.
So, looking at this time lapse, the Mission 26, the big Endeavour, I even love the name of it, and watching Endeavour pull into what is its temporary housing for right now, but even though that's temporary, it's really impressive to see it pull into that bay.
Yeah, it's very much like a hangar. It will give you the feeling that one might get if you saw a large vehicle of an aerospace nature being in the hangar, which would be worked. We took those large K-Mags, those wheels that you saw Endeavour move through the street on, those are off now in the Endeavour. It looks like it's kind of floating about 12 feet above the ground, and we've designed the exhibit so that you can walk entirely under the belly of the aircraft. So you'll be able to get really up close and personal and look up at the tiles and see the tiles' serial numbers, every one of which is unique. So we want people to get as close to it as we can safely allow.
We're speaking with Dr. Ken Phillips. He is a curator at the California Science Center in Los Angeles and holds the title of being the man who brought Shuttle Endeavour to Southern California. That's quite an achievement. And what sort of competition were you up against?
Well, as far as we know, there are about 29 institutions, like ours around the country that had competed for an orbit. It boiled down to 21, and then NASA whittled that down to 13. I think what was maybe a little unique about the Science Center is that aerospace science is not the only content area that we have here. So we're thinking that maybe NASA found it interesting that we could introduce many people who were not already familiar with NASA's work and the kind of stuff that they did. Plus, we're a free organization. You don't have to pay anything to come here.
Mm-hmm. That's stunning to me.
Yes.
That you would have will the shuttle be a separate, like it's free to go to the Science Center, but then in order to see the shuttle, you have to pay to see that exhibit?
No, not at all. Just come. We are suggesting in the opening months, because the crowds are going to be so large, that you purchase a time ticket, which is, I think it's like $2 or $3, something like that. But that's just to guarantee, a visit with your orbiter. But, you can take your chances and come down, and you might be able to get in.
That's great. That is so
Yeah,
great.
that is really, really wonderful.
Because that gives you access to everybody that lives in the Los Angeles area could get on public transportation, get to the Science Center, and not have that money wall between you and seeing a piece of history.
That's exactly right. I mean, the orbiter, it is a national asset. We all own it together. I mean, you guys up there in San Luis area and everything else, I mean, it's ours. And we're just honored to be those who have been asked to take care of it for. So that's how we look at it. So just an honor to have it here.
Was Shuttle Endeavour partially built in California? In essence, is it coming home?
Oh, it was entirely built in California. It was built from spare parts, largely from Atlantis and Discovery, things that were left over, fabricated entities for that. And it was assembled in Palmdale, as you know, and then sent to Edwards, and it flew from Edwards Air Force Base out to Kennedy Space Center for its first mission, which is in May of 1992. So yeah, it is a California baby, as they say.
Appropriate
Totally.
for it to come back here for its retirement.
Yes.
Oh, totally, absolutely. It really did feel like it's come. And a lot of people have seen it on display there as we're getting it ready. And it sounds kind of crazy to say it, Randall, but it feels like it belongs there. I mean, it feels like it's home.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, we're certainly happy to have it home. And I'm
Yes.
wondering, from time to time, when weather would not allow shuttles to land in Florida, California was an alternate landing spot for several of the shuttles.
That's
it
right.
cost NASA a lot of extra money to land in
Yes.
California because they had to fly
Then
the shuttle.
piggyback it back
Yeah.
to
Yeah, that's right.
Florida.
Was Endeavour ever part of that? Did it ever have to land in California?
Landed here 7 times.
7 times?
Okay.
Yeah, 7 out of its 25 flights. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And
7
then
out of
its
25.
final flight.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Yeah.
Boy, that was fun to see it flying overhead. I caught a glimpse of it here on the Central Coast, and I have friends and family up in the Bay Area that caught it with the flyby up by the city, by the Bay. And then they're in Los Angeles. Talk about some amazing shots, many of them taken by the LA Times with a Hollywood sign in the background and other LA. Where were you to watch that portion of the experience?
Well, I was up at 2 a.m. that morning doing press interviews at the airport and shuttling back between
So to speak.
one of the airport sites that was far away from the landing and then to the actual United hangar where it actually landed. So I was at the airport all day, and we actually, it was a funny thing, we actually had the least visible flyby, although the one that we had was extremely low because we were right there at the airport. But it was great. It was an incredible day.
Dr. Ken Phillips, we are so thankful that on this Sunday morning you took some time to speak with us here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio to talk about the shuttle's new endeavor there at the California Science Center. You can see it yourself starting October 30th, and then several years down the road, if you want to see it in a different position, you can check it out again when it's in its vertical launch style. Dr. Phillips, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Randall. Have a great one.
We're going to talk a different kind of shuttle, one that I like just as much, coming up in a moment, and it is a wine tasting shuttle. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio show on this Sunday morning, 9:44 the time. Back in just a moment.
That perfectly cooked egg, or just a hot cup of coffee. Maybe breakfast is a full bowl of cereal and some fresh orange juice. But whatever you're eating, you want to know what's in your food. That's why so many of us, from the California Nurses to Sierra Club to the Consumer Federation of America, say yes to Proposition 37. 37 just gives us the right to know if genetically engineered ingredients are in our food. Prop 37 puts simple information on packaging, so we know what we're really eating. These genetically engineered foods are already labeled in nearly 50 other countries. We just want the right to know what's in our food. Join us in voting yes on 37. Find out more at carighttoKnow.org. Paid for by Yes on 37 for your right to know if your food has been genetically engineered. Supported by consumer advocates, makers of organic products, and California farmers. Major funding by Mercola.com Health Resources, LLC, and the Organic Consumers Fund.
Silicon Valley's top restaurants, including many new ones, are offering 3-course dinner menus at special prices. It's a great opportunity to sample the region's culinary diversity. From Bushido's izakaya-style dining experience to newcomer The Table's innovative homegrown offerings, there are plenty of unique options to suit anyone's palate. Even the Silicon Valley Capital Club is offering non-members the opportunity to take in its breathtaking views while enjoying Michelin star-rated chef Michael Miller's contemporary specialties like pressed duck confit or chile yuzu prawns. Silicon Valley Restaurant Week is happening right now and runs through this Wednesday, October 24th. View menus and book a table online at siliconvalleyrestaurantweek.com/restaurants and find them on Facebook for dining giveaways, updates, and promotions.
What do your status updates say? You're learning a new language? Going all organic? Instead of typing your feelings, what if you could put them into action? By creating a network to help keep kids off the streets in a country like Armenia or in Honduras, bringing IT into the classroom, or on a farm in Tanzania, helping stem the world's food crisis by creating a sustainable agricultural program. What if every ounce of your being helped update the status of a person, and in turn they did the same for you? Would this be enough social interaction? Or is this only the beginning of something larger? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps. Get interactive at peacecorps.gov/game.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
9:49 the time now here on this Sunday morning. The sun is peeking out, at least here at the Eat, Drink, Explore studios in San Luis Obispo, California. I did a little Arnold there on accident. That was not intended. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. Patty, we had a little shaker last night.
We did indeed, and lots of people felt it all the way south of us in the Santa Maria area, up to the north of us in the Bay Area. Lots of people reporting that they were rattled a little bit before midnight. 5.3 magnitude earthquake on the San Andreas Fault, about 16 miles away from King City. That's in Monterey County.
Right.
And it was about 6 miles deep, which to me, in my limited earthquake knowledge, I think that seems sort of deep, but was widely felt and followed up by some aftershocks. The biggest one, 3.7.
Wow. Hey, if you felt it, let us know about it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Explore. Some of you already have. Betty in Santa Maria told us that she felt it and it was rolling, and it would be rolling that far away from the epicenter. They felt it in Paso Robles as well, I know. Jason Westfall is joining us now. You know, our compass word this hour is shuttle. We've been talking mainly Shuttle Endeavor, but there's another kind of shuttle that you can take, and it's in the Santa Barbara area and also the Paso Robles wine tasting region. It is a hop-on, hop-off shuttle called the Wine Line. I love the idea. I've loved it for years, and I finally get to interview Jason. We've been back and forth with emails. Seriously, I'm not kidding, for like 3 or 4 years now. Jason, thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So when I first saw your idea, I was doing a piece for KCOY television called Down to Earth. And the reason why I wanted to focus on it was because your shuttle vans are biodiesel. And I thought that was a really cool idea. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, so the biodiesel is, comes already kind of processed and mixed. So you don't need to do any conversions or anything. You do need to change out some hoses, but it's nothing big. You just need to change from rubber to plastic. But we run a B20 mix, which is basically 20% bio and 80% diesel. And but every engine's different, so you just need to find what works for your motors. And and it's just a cleaner. We wanted to do bio because we were going to be driving around all day, so we wanted to leave as light of a carbon footprint as we could.
Is biodiesel the sort of thing where you can get oil from like a restaurant, leftover fry oil?
Yeah. That's the concept. If you want to process it yourself,
I see.
If you run straight veggie oil, then you do need to do a little bit of converting. You need to just have a heating element that'll thin out the straight veggie oil. But what you do with biodiesel is you take the veggie oil and you mix it with there's a little process. You mix it with methanol and potassium hydroxide, and then you get the ready to go biodiesel. And that's why you don't need to do any conversions, because it's already kind of mixed and ready to go.
Now let's talk about your concept, because when it comes to touring places, I like this idea because I'm not one that likes to stick with a tour. I like to sort of, live by my own timeline. And that's what your hop-on, hop-off wine line allows.
Yeah. So I basically solved my own dilemma as well. Whenever I travel or do anything, I like to do my own research and, go at my own pace, and I just need someone to get me to, from point A to point B. So that's what kind of led to the hop-on, hop-off concept. So we're door-to-door service, so we pick up the customers at their accommodations, and then we start them on our loops. In Paso, we serve a little over 60 wineries, and in Santa Barbara, we service the town of Los Olivos and then about 11 wineries through Fox and Canyon. And the customers just pick and choose where they want to hop on and hop off all day long. So when they hop off, we walk them in, introduce them to staff who does the pouring and tasting, and then we get back in a van, take the next customers to their desired destination, and then we return in approximately 40 minutes. And if they're ready to go, they just hop back on and proceed to the next winery of their choice.
So what kind of volume are you doing? Like, how many people can you handle in a weekend?
Well, right now in Paso, we max out at about 30, and then down in Santa Barbara, about 17. And
And Santa Barbara is your newest venture, right?
Right. Yeah, we're just about a year and a half old down there now.
So you need a concentration of wineries in order for this to work. So I imagine if Santa Barbara works out well, then you'll consider maybe the Santa Cruz Mountains, Livermore Valley, Sonoma, Napa, places where you have deep concentrations of wineries.
Yeah, exactly, where they're kind of densely populated, and we can create a loop that, we just need to be able to get from one side to the other in about 20, 30 minutes. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So right now, Paso Robles was just named by TripAdvisor as the 6th most popular wine tasting region in the entire country. That's really impressive.
Awesome.
Because when you, and that's all based on travelers. This isn't like some know-it-all putting it together.
No, it's the actual visitors saying this is what we like.
This is what we like, exactly. And when you consider really just the world-class wine regions up in Washington and Oregon states and other portions of the nation, the Finger Lakes in New York, and so there's so many different places to compete with. California, we like to think we do it all, but no, there's a lot of competition. So to come in number 6 is really impressive. And your business revolves around that concept, right?
Oh yeah, we're definitely, and we've seen a great increase, over the past 2 years. With the economy kind of getting a little bit better and people feeling a little bit more comfortable with at least weekend trips and whatnot.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we've been growing every year since we started, and but yeah, we definitely get a lot of that feedback as well. That Paso is extremely unique as a wine country, and definitely growing.
Now, some of these wine tours that you can take include some sort of meal along the way. Do you work food into the process at all?
Yeah, we again with our mission of freedom and flexibility. We allow people to obviously bring their own lunch. We provide a really delicious organic gourmet lunch for $15 a person.
Nice.
And then in Paso, there are a couple places to eat along the way where the customers can hop off and buy lunch. Santa Barbara Fox and Canyon doesn't really have that, but again, they could go into Los Olivos and eat, or we provide a lunch there, and or they can bring their own. So.
My favorite part about wine tasting is some of the picnic areas associated with the wineries,
right.
And so that'd be great to choose your organic option and then just relax in that winery setting with a nice lunch and maybe a bottle that you got at the winery itself. Because I like to do a little tasting, but then I just give me the bottle and let's go. Let's go sit down and enjoy it. HopOnTheWineline.com. That's the web address, correct?
Correct.
HopOnTheWineline.com. Check it out. It's a fantastic idea, and we appreciate you being on the show. Jason Westfall, owner of
thank you guys so much.
The Wine Line. All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Again, a moderate earthquake shaking California overnight. No reports of any damage at this point, which we're happy to report.
That's right.
Patty Pyburn, thank you. Anthony Renaro working the audio controls. Ricardo Teodosio at the video controls. Cora Adama is working the phone lines. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are glad that you join us each and every Sunday morning right here from 8 to 10. Make it a great day, everyone. Eat, drink, explore radio.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.